Hi, I'm Neil Sackmary.
Hi, I'm State Trooper Sean Hagstrom with the Nevada State Police Highway Patrol Division, PEIO. Please stay tuned for the next episode of Trooper Talk.
And together, we can make a difference. Here we are live at the 360 Vegas studios with this edition of State Police Talk and Trooper Talk. And so we're here. So I want to please introduce yourself, and then I have some exciting news. Go ahead.
Sure. I'm Sean Hagstrom. I'm a State Trooper with the Nevada Highway Patrol Public Affairs, and I'm their Public Information Officer.
And just under 2 years, we've been filming together.
Correct. Well,
Right.
Actually...
Is it over 2 years now?
It's coming up. Actually, it's today December 11th.
It's close enough.
That's my 2 years.
2 years. So
yeah.
we've been filming for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
When he first came here, I had a sofa, and it was blue, and you sort of like sunk into it. and so the major sat here, and he sat here, and it was his first time, to be on the show, and he sat there like this, and you know what I mean. And he has taken this role of the public information officer, and it's just the most amazing thing. And he brings the most amazing people on every single week for Trooper Talk. And so please introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
So I'm Donovan Heavener, and I'm a polygraph examiner and background investigator for the Nevada State Police.
And you, sir?
I'm Trooper Villanueva with Nevada State Police. I'm the sworn recruiter for Southern Command.
Did you know his wife and his mom work for the Nevada State Police?
I know that his wife does, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, it's very cool. We embarrassed him. We brought his mom on here.
Oh, nice.
And we didn't even tell him.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
This is a shock.
Right, a complete shock. You know what I'm saying? So here's what I wanted to tell you guys. Okay, here's sort of some exciting news.
Okay.
If you look behind you,
The new logo.
so the director was on here, and the director said how much he fought to have not Nevada Highway Patrol, but to have the state police. Because to him, coming from where he came from, with doing the various things with the FBI and all this stuff, that it was so important to him that he wanted to have Nevada State Police as Nevada State Police and not Nevada Highway Patrol and then a different division under them, and nobody knows what's going on. Okay? So, here's what I'm going to tell you. I bought the name policetalk.com.
Oh.
And now you can go to policetalk.com or you can go to statepolicetalk.com, and that statepolicetalk.com forwards you right to Nevada State Police page.
Oh, beautiful.
And so the most important thing is that everyone knows that Nevada State Police is a complete agency, right? That it just doesn't have one person, right? We have parole and probation, we have Capitol Police, we have all these different divisions, and nobody knew that it was under the state police. And so anyway, so the director came on. I can't wait to send him this text today. I was waiting for you guys to come because I wanted you to be the first.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thank you.
And then I want to send him the picture today, and I'm going to say how much, first of all, he inspired me, okay, by him coming on here. We've had the colonels come on here and everybody from all the way down, but I've been asking him to come on for 4 years. And so he's always been very busy and everything like this, and Trooper Hagstrom, he made it happen. And so anyway, let's start off with the fact of I appreciate you and I appreciate you, and I wanted you to share with this moment, okay? And so this way, because we own the trademark for troopertalk.com, we're going to be filing the trademark for the statepolicetalk.com so that nobody can mess around.
Nice.
Nice.
You know
I
what
like
I'm
it.
saying?
Absolutely.
And then for the policetalk.com, we'll file that as well, because I want people, sometimes people take the variation and then they do something else with it.
Yeah.
So if we're going to publicly now announce that it's State Police Talk, I don't want somebody taking Police Talk, and then all of a sudden it's like they're not only taking what we're doing, but again, the most important thing, as I expressed to you when you first came on, is that we always put you in the absolute best light. I mean, I take it the inherent responsibility, just like you guys do when it comes to the putting on your badges and stuff, that, I don't want anybody ever taking this and doing something bad with it. You know what I mean? And so anyway, so that's the exciting news.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
It's awesome.
Hey, and we also like the fireplace,
Okay,
Neil.
so
Yeah.
yes,
Is that amazing? I mean, everybody at home needs to look at
Yes.
Neil's fireplace because you know what? It really brings it like a warm atmosphere.
Very
in here.
cozy.
fantastic.
And we really,
You
we
love it,
really
right?
like it. We love it. Yeah,
Okay.
it
You
looks
need
nice.
you a hot
So-
cup of cocoa now.
right?
absolutely.
And when there's only 2 troopers here, I got another one.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh,
So it sits on that side, so that way
Nice.
we have dual fireplaces.
nice.
Very
you
exciting.
never, you have that total experience.
Yeah.
going
Yeah,
on.
well, this
Absolutely.
you know what I mean. Like if you can't do that and you can't forward think, you know what I mean, to try to bring the best. It's not fun. It's
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, we're coming to do this boring show every week, and like, it sucks. You know what I mean? So, thank you very much for being here.
Absolutely.
So, here's my question for you. I watch a show every single week that goes that follows the police officer. By the way, nothing is scripted.
Okay.
Okay. So I think about things when I'm driving from my store over here, and like I just come up with these random thoughts, and it's like this is what we talk
Very
about.
random.
Does that
Some
make
of them
sense?
come out of, like, left
yeah,
field.
Who knows? You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
So here's the question, okay? And it's to you guys as well, because
Okay.
this is very funny. But I want your. Okay. So I watch this popular show, okay, that follows the police around on the weekends in the spiel, okay? And when they catch people with drugs in their pants, they always say,
It's not mine.
"It's not my pants."
I was gonna say,
Not
like,
my pants.
absolutely, I love it.
Yep.
Okay. So my question to you is this. In your years of doing this, hopefully nobody came into a polygraph test with Nevada State Police and they were either drunk or on drugs or had drugs on them or whatever. And I'm not asking you for specifics. But I am asking you to the fact that, like, people come in and they try to pull one over on you every single day. Is that true?
I wouldn't say every single day, but they come in. Some come in trying to, pull the wool over my eyes. Yeah.
And so when you, in your experience, like these guys can tell, and so it's very funny when I watch the things, right? Because when people come into the store and I look at them and like, where did you get this? Well, listen, that my grandma gave it to the brother-in-law who then and it's like, the story is not correct. Right? And so 1 second in, what the situation. The person can continue, like last night I was watching, right? And the guy goes, "Sir, you can continue to talk to me, but you're just digging yourself in a bigger hole.
Right.
And you're not getting out.
Yeah.
So the only way to get out is just say, listen, I lied, and now I'd like to come clean and tell you the real situation."
Right.
What do you know that? Do you feel that when somebody walks in that, like, you do?
When you start talking to people, and we have very, very specific questions that we ask for background, you get that feel when someone's lying to you. There's key terms that they use when they respond back, and this is no shock to anyone. When they start with "to the best of my knowledge,"
Oh.
you know that, all right, they're not being truthful.
Yeah.
So there's very key things that we look for verbally that we can say, starting to take us down that road. So
And when you the person, like I've seen and the thing, right? So you sit like at a desk right over here, right? And then the person is like here, right?
Yes.
And then they have like things that are like you go to the doctors, is that right? Like
yeah, and it's a longer process than what you see on TV.
Okay,
I mean,
go
the whole process is like 2 hours, and really, when we put all the components on them to do the actual polygraph, that really is about a half hour of that. That's about it.
to put okay.
When we ask questions, when they are actually with the components on it using the polygraph machine, it's really only a half hour. The other hour and a half is a conversation where we're going over questions, in-depth questions, in order to build everything up to those very specific questions we'll ask them during the polygraph exam.
So, without getting into specifics, that's not what I'm. So, there's sort of a pre-interview before the interview.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
And so, in the pre-interview, you can sort of judge how maybe the next part of the interview, right? Do people walk out during the pre-interview?
I have had a couple in the past. They're just like, yeah, I don't want to go on anymore
Right.
because they know that I'm on to them.
Right. And so when it comes to the polygraphing, right? Like, do you train? Do you go to school? Do you test it on your family? Like, you know, like did you go out last night? You know, I'm hooking you up to the machine. You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
Like what? Tell me about this. This is what I want to know.
So there are schools around the world who are certified by the American Polygraph Association, and it's a 10-week school. The curriculum is very laid out for each school, so you always have to do very specific things. It's 400 hours, and when they say 400 hours, you have to be in class for 400 hours. They track it. There's no, we got till 2:30, you can be done the rest of the day. You're there the entire time. So they're very specific. So when you say 10 weeks of training, it's 10 full weeks. And it's pretty intensive. We do psychology, physiology, interview, and then we get into asking questions and how to formulate questions. So it's a big process in order to get to where you're an actual functioning polygraph examiner. Some states then will go into a licensing process. If you're in private practice in the state of Nevada, you have to go through a licensing process where you have to take a test for the state of Nevada. Since I work for Nevada State Police, we fall under the police arm of that, so I don't have to be licensed. They just say the Nevada State Police says you are good doing it, so you're good. So there's a lot that goes into it.
And do you test it on people, like your friends and stuff? Have you ever done that?
So when I got done with the school, I wanted some, where I wasn't under pressure.
Yeah.
I would actually, like my family, my son was around, and I told him, all right, this is, and it wasn't anything specific,
Right? No.
very loose, but I wanted to try it, and he was a big one is saying, oh, this is stupid, because he's a registered nurse.
Okay.
He's like, this doesn't work. And I said, all right, well, we'll look at this scenario. You just tell me. And it was like, did he go to bed at midnight or did he go to bed at 2? That type of question. And I went through my whole process with him, and I ran him through the polygraph and got done. He's like, this thing is real. Because I told him, I said, you're lying to me. He's like, I was.
Yeah. So this right. And so, like, you've taken something that's a skill and you've made it like not in a funny way, right? But like you made that funny.
Yeah.
And let me say to you that the reason that I'm asking you these questions, right? You like my pre-interview? Was that good?
That was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm gonna hook you up. You know what I'm saying?
That's fine.
Nevada State Police, okay, only wants the best.
Correct.
And so one of the things that we talk about, and we talk about every single week, right, is the fact of that, we only want the very best. You have to be dedicated and all this, right? Well, we found out because last week they reversed the roles and I sat there and they asked questions. And one of the things that we found out, so many people came to the thing for the workout and everything like this, and then that he always talks about the fact that it's a long process, and they have to do all this with background investigations and all this, but that so many people they come there, they work out, they do the written test, they do all this, and then they're like, oh, by the way, you have something on your record, or this isn't the way we do it, and they're like, okay, like you said, I got all the way up to the polygraph, and then the guy started asking me questions, and I'm like, nah, this isn't for me.
Right.
So it's very important that one of the things I was going to say Trooper Talk, but Trooper Talk, it's been Trooper Talk for 4.5 years. But Nevada State Police Talk, right, is the fact that we want people to know that you guys are human, and that, you can laugh and you can joke and you do all these funny things, but when it comes down to business, they wear the badge, and it's the law, right? So push me up against the law and you're going to lose, and that's the end of it, right? And so anyway, it's a real big honor to have you here. I got a lot more questions for you. I'm just getting my I'm getting my pre-interview.
I love it.
But
rolling.
I like to say too, because it's great that we have this, because the legality of bringing people on board, they're representing not only Nevada High Patrol Probation, but the entire state of Nevada. And to wear this uniform, you know, like I said, you have to earn this badge. We just don't give it to you. And that's why we're looking for Nevada's finest. So we have to go through a very intensive process to make sure that we're getting the right people. And yes, we do lose quite a few people in backgrounds because, like he said, a pre-interview, the people, he'll probably be able to tell you, they'll come back, oh, I forgot to tell you this, or they knew, like he said, he's getting close to, you know, and they have to, now they're saying something after they already did the pre-interview, oh, I forgot to tell you this and all that. It's very important because remember we talk about even our uniforms, you know, just having, we call them little Irish pennants or whatever. We want to always look good, and just that small part, leaving that out. You've talked about it. What are you going to leave bullets out of your gun next or something? You know what I mean?
100%.
So everything has a reason and why we do this, and it's very important that we do it correctly. You know, other agencies have had problems where they lowered their standards and wrong people got in and kind of ruined the departments. I'm not mentioning, you know, what departments, but we know. And the thing is, we're not going to lower our standards to just get people. We're always going to keep those high standards, and that's why you don't see probably as many troopers, because we take Nevada's finest and only the best if we can get them.
Yeah, I mean, listen, his hair is always like this. You know
I love it. He's got the best haircut.
Right, you know what I'm saying? It is always like this. It doesn't make a difference. He came in with his wife and the little kids, and he had the baseball hat on, and his hair was still like that.
Yeah, he takes it off. It's like, their 401 is out of place. You got to put it in.
You got to slick it back.
Absolutely.
I am jealous.
Right? I am jealous too. You know what I mean?
I do save money on
we
product,
got
though.
good. We got good haircut stereotypes.
Right, see, you save money on haircuts.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's the truth, right?
It is.
And so the standards are not going to be lowered.
Yeah.
Nevada State Police needs people, right? They need people in every single segment of what Nevada State Police is, from the people who are sworn to non-sworn to all these different things, but it's not going to be easy. And so people need to know that when they call you and they say, listen, I'm interested, I would like to learn a little bit more, it's not going to be easy.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I just looked over at your hat because one of the departments in I think it's Montana, right? Not the state police there, they follow. And they get out of the car, right? And the guy puts on his hat and he puts his thing and he walks up to the thing and he goes, license and registration and insurance, and the people freak out, right? Because they're like, okay, the games are now over, right? And so it's a serious matter. It might be only a talking to, right? Like, listen, you know, your brake light's out, you need to get it fixed. I just wanted to see, you know, it happens a lot. You know, they pull them over for the brake light, they're swerving, and they sometimes don't find them to be drinking, right? They just go, you know, I just wanted to double check. Oh, I was checking my radio, you know what I mean? But it happens.
Yeah.
Anyway, you laugh. So you've had the people say it's not my pants?
But numerous times. Unfortunately, I have to say numerous times because it has happened numerous times.
Like they come, you find that you go like this and you go, okay, listen, there's drugs or whatever, and they're like, listen, I didn't mean to put on my friend's pants.
Yeah, multiple times. And it actually on both sides of the house. So at P&P, I've had it where I'm in someone's room, and it's very clearly their room, and they've told me it's their room. I'm digging in their drawer, and they're like, oh, those aren't my pants. But they're in your drawer. And then the same thing on a traffic stop where they're wearing the pants that I find the drugs in. Those aren't my pants.
Those aren't my pants.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's the thing they always laugh about, and I wanted to ask you guys.
I don't know how they got there.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying?
They reappeared, right?
Before I started law enforcement, I was like, "There's no way that people actually do like
Oh yeah.
There's no. It actually happens. People try to.
I watch them, and so like they do it and they keep doing it, and it's like, and then the one guy this last week, he also said, oh, I know you're gonna say it's not my pants because I've seen it on the TV show, and they found drugs in his pants, right? And they're falling down.
Yeah.
Anyway, a traffic stop is a serious thing, and you never know what it is that you're going to entail when you walk up there. Person could have the cleanest record in the world, the nicest person in the world, and who knows what happened.
Right.
When it comes to the Nevada State Police, this is one of the things that they only want the very best, because not only they're going to go through extensive polygraph and all this type of stuff, but you know, there can't be any type of funny business. You know what I mean? Like, you have the, I don't want to say opportunity, you have the way to sort of ruin someone's life.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, if you were wrong on a DUI call or, you know what I mean? Like it could ruin somebody's life.
Yep.
And so I know you guys take it very seriously. And so what do we do if we're interested? So now I'm interested. I go, you know what? This might be something for me. What's my next step to get a hold of you?
So you go to nevadastatepolice.com. My information is plastered all over that. My email, phone number. Email's a little bit easier to get a hold of me, just in case I'm at an event or whatnot. I can get back to you. But my phone number is also plastered on there. If you want to shoot me a text, send me a phone call. If you're looking to apply, there's an apply button up at the top that'll take you directly to our job posting. And if you have any questions at all, you can shoot me an email, like I said, and I will answer any questions you have. A lot of people are just unaware of what they're looking at. They just think, like you said, it's Nevada Highway Patrol. That's all that's available. But they don't know about parole and probation, and they don't know about their schedule. They don't know that they don't work holidays, they don't work weekends, they don't work nights. So that might be something more intriguing to them because they have a family, right? So if they have any questions at all, they are always welcome to schedule a phone call with me. If they're kind of unsure about their physical status, they can come out and do a workout with me, and I'll help them get to where they need to be able to get into the academy. So just contacting me is probably your first step to getting into Nevada State Police.
Yeah, and now, do you ever, like, when someone comes in, have you ever freaked out? Like, have you ever, like, somebody came in and you were going to give them a polygraph and you're like, okay, I have to leave now?
No, I've never had that. No,
And so you're a very even-keeled person, right?
I am. I try to be.
No. And so when someone comes in and they want to do the polygraph, right? Just like Trooper Hagstrom said. So I forgot to tell you this, right? Or we're in the middle of the interview and I remembered something and that little machine knows it and I'm up a creek without a paddle, right?
Right.
And so what people have to understand is that a machine can read a mind. Would that be accurate?
It is not. You can't say it's the machine because we really look at the whole interview process before the pre-test interview, and then going into the interview. And what really the polygraph does is it measures a person's physiological responses to questions. Okay, and what we're really looking for is that fight or flight system in our body kicking in, because when you're going to tell a lie, your fight or flight system does kick in because it's afraid that it's going to get caught. So we're looking for a very quick spike in your system. So that's really what we're looking for in polygraph. So it's a big process.
And it's their training in psychology and everything
Mm-hmm.
that they look for, because you're also hooked up for, they're measuring what your heart's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like if, let's say you ask a certain question, you can't have any control because your mind is starting to take over and now your heart's beating even faster. He's like, have you had any thefts in the past or something? And now your heart's really going. And so he sees that spike, right? Guess what he's going to do? He's going to come back later and ask a few more questions.
Right.
Or, can I say all that?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, we do a post-test then.
So this is the kind of things that, and then with his training in psychology, he's looking at different things. Is the guy sweating? I'm looking at all different types of is his speech changing? Voice. A lot of times, even polygraph examiners, they have different ones where they do voice inflectuation, don't they?
There's the
Those
voice
testing?
stress analysis that
Stress
some
analysis, too.
agencies use. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a whole different thing about that. So
Sorry, I was just going to say, a lot of people ask me too, well, what if I'm really nervous? What if I'm really nervous and that looks like a lie? They're able to determine the differences between nervousness and lying. It's not the same physiological effects that
Right.
your body does.
Right.
So,
And during that whole pre-test interview, we actually tell the candidate what we're looking for in the polygraph. We explain to them what nerves will look like in the polygraph for us, and that's nothing we're looking for. We explain we're looking for that spike in their fight or flight system, their sympathetic nervous system. So that's what we're looking for on the polygraph. So we don't hide anything. We always tell them there's no hidden secrets here. We put everything out on the table. Your body is going to tell us what's going to happen.
And have you ever had somebody lie on every single question?
I have. I have had that, yes.
So you did a pre-interview, and then they thought, well, this is simple. And then you hook them up, and then they lie on every single question.
Right.
And
Yes.
these are the same questions usually, right?
Yeah, we
Are
don't
you-
change. Yeah, it's the same
He's
questions.
asked. He'll give you the pre-interview with these questions that they want, and then they'll come back with the same questions once you're hooked up, and then they're able to tell
Yeah.
from that. And it gives you a little bit of time to start thinking. You know, if you're going to start lying,
Right.
he's going to start getting into that, and the machine.
Yeah,
and
I
your
want to
body,
know. That's
so,
what I
yeah.
want to know. So,
Yeah.
like, with what you went to school, right? So now you're sitting. Okay. You're sitting next to someone that you go, please tell me. Just making up a question, right? Please tell me your birth date, right? And they lie. Right, and so you know in your mind that you caught them. Like that's the end of the game because we don't accept liars.
Right.
And then, but we have to continue. And then you're sitting across from this person. You're like, okay, what color is your hair? What color are your eyes? Right, like you're just like whatever questions you're asking. I'm just making up.
Right.
Not part of my pre-interview. And so this is my interview process, right? Okay, please tell me the color of your hair, right? And so you're sitting there, like, when the customer comes in and I ask them a question and I know they've lied to me, and it's like, okay, like we're done. Like, I don't deal with liars. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to lie, go lie to somebody else. There's 1,000 places to sell things. You follow me?
Right.
But you're sitting there and you're next to a person that continuously lies to you. And so in your mind, okay, so you're an even-keeled person, totally
Right.
respect that, right? Maybe it doesn't infuriate you that you're like, okay, I just want to bang my hand on the table and go, this is ridiculous.
Right.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Right.
So once you're done and you know that this is over, and this person walks out of the room, they're not hooked up, you're by yourself, you're in your car. Do you do like a Rocky thing, like you moron, like you know what I'm saying, like because you just what I'm saying to you is this: you need to have some form of stress relief,
Right.
and so maybe you don't call them that name, but I'm just saying, like, are you like I just like you can't possibly fathom how somebody just did this to you?
I would say I used to. I mean, because I've been doing backgrounds for about 20 years.
Okay.
And now it's just another day for me. You know,
Just another day.
and the big thing to understand is, I mean, I will never be one, and no one in polygraph should ever say that the polygraph is 100% accurate.
Okay.
Because you're dealing with the human body, the mind, all that kind of stuff,
Uh-huh.
right? So there is a level of error. So that's why we do a post-interview after the test, a post-test interview. So once we get the results from what happens during the polygraph, we will take all the components off of them, and then we'll have a discussion with them.
And do you tell them what they lied about?
I will ask them in those areas, hey, so what was going through your mind during that? What were you thinking about?
Not hooked up.
Not on the machine, no. So we'll have that interview, that post-test interview, in order for us to figure out what's really going on. Were they really lying? Was there something else going? There are some things that we talk about. I'm like, all right, now it kind of makes sense why I got that response. And then we as polygraph examiners can make a determination. Maybe we need to do a secondary test on them to bring them back in.
Secondary test.
To make sure that we got the correct results. There's times that we're just like, yep, nope, we understand you lied to us. And there's not going to be a second chance. The second chances don't happen very often, but there are times that we'll get it and we're like, yeah, you know what, we need to run another test just to confirm. And if they all of a sudden, in the post-test, they say, hey, I was thinking about this. And now we're like, okay, well, let's run you through again. Now that you've disclosed that, let's run through a test again to see if you've told us everything now.
What? And my last and final thing, not my last and final thing, but how do you prepare? Do you drink? Do you have a ceremonial cup of coffee before you go into a test, or do you do something
Pump
like
yourself up.
Yeah, do you do anything, or you just open the door and you're ready?
No, I do my review of all the questionnaires that they've done. I look at what before they walk in. I'll look at all the questionnaires that they filled out, because that's what we go over during that pre-test. Is there's 4 complete questionnaires getting in depth into their personal life that we go over, and I'll look over it, make sure that they didn't miss anything. If they did, those are areas I'm going to look at. Yeah, I just kind of go through that, and I ain't gonna lie, I have a C4 energy drink, and
Ready to go.
Yes, I like it.
I'm not a coffee guy, you know.
You know, it's very interesting. Sergeant Keene came on, I don't know, 2 months ago or something like this, and he said that I have a certain thing that things that I do, and I go into a room in the house that nobody goes in, and it's like he does his thing and he has his music, you know. And so now it's like the thing that I ask everybody. You know what I mean? Like because you have to prepare. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
if you're not in the right mindset, then you know, not that you're going to ask the wrong question, but you know what I mean. So anyway. Thanks for being here. I'm glad you like the fireplace. All right, so here's what I'm going to tell you. We used to just talk, which I love, believe me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But we add pictures on there, okay? And so I don't see the pictures. Trooper Hagstrom sends them to Johnny, and we'll see what we got, okay?
Okay.
I love the new logo. I can't wait to send that to him. He's going to freak out when he sees State Police
Super
talking.
nice.
All right. I will say this, okay, that just as I said to you sort of when we first started talking, I take an inherent responsibility as a business owner. And I know that people look up to you, and when you hire people, you have their lives in your hands. And so I haven't had a day off in 16 months. It was 41 months before I had my first day off. And I take that very seriously when we hire people that, you know, we have people with families. And so you can't just hire somebody and then, you know, sometimes, you know, things happen and, you know, you get a little bit upset or whatever. But, like, you know, you have to take in that responsibility. And so I take that very seriously when it comes to the Trooper Talk. And one of the things that is really amazing is that Johnny and I get to go to all the promotion ceremonies and all that type of stuff. And it's very funny because on Police Talk, they had the order reversed. So I saw the first episode. I watched it the other day. Sergeant Barachek was, before he was sergeant, came on, and we used to talk, but we never really put it towards Trooper Talk. And then Sergeant Smacka, before he was sergeant, he came on and started doing it. And so the first episode, it was like him and Ashley Wellman. And so it's very cool. And so the show has really evolved. Now we're on Channel 13 5 days a week. And now on the Sunday one that we play from 8:30 to 8:45, people get really excited because now they get to watch Trooper Talk for more than 4 minutes. And it's very interesting. And so one of the interesting things is that, A, you never know what I'm going to ask. And B, you never know who's coming on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we own the trademark for Trooper Talk. We have filed, Karen Bernstein is one of my attorneys. She does all my trademark stuff. We will be filing today for statepolicetalk.com with that new logo with the Nevada State Police because we're very proud. You know what I mean? And so anyway, I thank you for coming on. You know what I'm saying?
It's always a pleasure, Neil.
It means so much, and you know what I mean? Like, we've tried to always give our best foot forward, and you know, you've always put your best foot forward. And I'm telling you, in 2 years, we've had more people that continuously come on the show that he has to get approval for and all that. And they're like, well, what are they going to ask? And he's like, I don't know what this guy's going to ask. You know what I'm saying? But like, you're going to have a great time. And people come on that, you know, they're very scared, right? Like they're going into the poly. Like here's the Nevada State Police, the troopers and all this, right? And they're like, you know, when we had the Capitol Police, the sergeants and stuff, you know, they're looking at me, they're examining the whole room like this, right? And you can see that just like you could see. And so anyway, thanks for doing
it's my
everything,
pleasure,
you
Neil.
know what I mean?
And not only
So-
that, coming up on 236,
Yeah.
that'll be my 100th episode on Trooper Talk. So I'm kind of excited. That's why I kind of wanted to ask you through time. I was trying to get how many episodes we're at because 236 will be my 100th episode.
100th
Because I first
episode.
came on with the major when we first started. Around 136, I believe. Yeah. So kind of really excited. And you know what? It's evolved since we've done this, you know, and we've gone through the whole Nevada State Police. as an agency, and now we're getting into more specialty groups.
Yep.
You know what I
Right.
mean? So it's kind of exciting. Next week, if people are watching this, we're going to bring Sandy Heverly on because we're getting close to, you know, the holidays and New Year's, and we want to kind of hit home with the impaired driving.
Yeah.
So we kind of want to talk about that and ensure that people are getting safe rides, and we don't want people out there drinking and driving. So that's the main
I
thing.
saw in the news yesterday, you know, that Metro responded to somebody doing 136 or 100. No, it was 130 miles an hour while they were drunk. Well, sorry, while they were alleged to be impaired. You know what I'm saying? And so they, whatever they did, they plugged into the guy's car. And they go, oh, he was exactly at 130, and
Yeah.
he was at 104 1 second before the crash where he slammed on his brake. I mean, like, they knew,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's not like, well, maybe they're not going to figure out. No, no, no. You're going to jail, maybe not for the rest of your life, but you're going to jail for a very long time. You killed someone, you know what I mean, because you wanted to go out and party, and you know what I mean? And people... Has someone come impaired to a thing?
I have not had anyone. I've heard stories about people coming in.
That coming
Under
impaired?
the
No,
influence.
but you've never experienced.
I
that.
have not experienced that. No.
Okay. But people do these things. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe the guy takes a swig or something right before he goes in. Like the impairedness of people needs to stop, and
Absolutely.
so that's why we're so thankful for the Nevada State Police stepping up the game. Sandy Haverly, we love her. You know, we need more troopers, but we're not going to let people slip through the cracks, right? So let's talk about the fact of when it comes to the polygraph. Okay. So the person comes in and they do a but let me ask you this question: what step in the hiring process is the polygraph?
Technically the second step. So they apply. Well, I guess technically the third. They apply. They're going to come in for their written and their physical tests same day.
That's considered one thing.
One
right?
step.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah,
That's the same day. As soon as they pass both of those, that's when they get put into poly backgrounds. Poly backgrounds is kind of like the same phase essentially, because they go through their poly, and then after the poly as long as they pass the poly, they go deeper into the background, and the background is where they really dig into their life, and that's the longest part of the process. And sometimes it's the longest part because the pre-questionnaire forms that they fill out, they'll leave stuff out, and these guys have to send it back. Hey, you forgot something. You need to submit this document. Like, we're still waiting on stuff. Like, you need to do it. So it's solely on the applicant on how quickly that background goes. And that's what I tell them. It can take anywhere from 4 to 6 months, and it can take 6 months if you drag your feet and don't submit information, and you're kind of dodging these guys and you're not submitting information. If you do everything correctly and you don't have to do any corrections on your background or anything like that, 4 months at the tops. So them, it's like third process, and it's I would say the most critical, because if these guys aren't there, then we let all of our standards go and we let whoever in. So these guys are the most important. Anybody can come and do 100 push-ups, right? That doesn't mean that they're squared away and they've had a good life. So
And so they pass the written and the physical, and then they have the questionnaire. They fill out the questionnaire, and then it goes to wherever to investigate these type of things. And so he gets that in, say, month 2 or month 3.
yeah.
Right? And then they come in, and so now they've had a little bit of time to realize where they're going, what they want to do, right? And all this type of stuff. And so when the person comes to go to the academy, they know instantly if that person is going to, be good or not good or whatever, right? So when someone comes in, are more people very cordial to you? Like, do they come over and hey, how's it going? I'm like Bill Smith, like they're loud, or most people are hi, I'm.
It's been a progression, I'll tell you, over the years. I would say probably 5-6 years ago, people would come in, business attire, very professional.
Like a suit.
Suit, or at least a shirt and tie, or ladies coming in some sort of business suit, and very cordial, very professional when they speak to you. Now, in these days, things have become a little more relaxed. There are people that have come in that I've just told them, we're not going to do the polygraph today. We'll reschedule when you want to come in dressed appropriately, because people are coming in dressed inappropriately.
Yeah, of course, of course.
But then when just the communication too is different. We've got some people who come in who are very, they communicate well. Others, you have a hard time getting responses out of them.
And so somebody comes in and they're not dressed like again, like my father went to court one time in shorts for paying speeding ticket, and the judge was like, "Yep, right, like you can leave now." You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
you're ridiculous. Does that make sense?
Right.
So, I would never think about the fact that, like, maybe I wouldn't come in a tank top and shorts and stuff like this, but like I wouldn't. I don't know if I would think about it in that way, right? And so, but again, we want to put our best foot forward, right? So, not that somebody comes in right at the line of what's appropriate, and somebody comes in dressed to the hill with a suit and tie and all that,
Right.
but the Nevada State Police is only wanting the best people,
Correct.
and so okay. So now the person, go ahead.
Well, let me just jump in
Yeah,
because
I wanna
again, we say there's no secrets here, right? My email I send out to schedule the interview with them says you will need to arrive in some sort of business appropriate attire.
Oh, it does.
And it also says some of the polygraph examiners say you'll arrive a half hour early. I don't understand that because then I just schedule my interview a half hour earlier, right? I just tell them they need to be there early. And to me, I'm already starting to judge them now when they arrive. I had one guy show up at, his appointment was at 10. He showed up at 9:59 and 30 seconds is when I got the call that he was there. So we started off with the conversation, is this early?
Right.
You know, so we're starting that judgment right away because of everything that we sent to them.
And I think it's a generational thing, too.
It is.
Because like he said, probably he's been in it for 20 years. And a lot of people, even when I did it, almost 30 years ago, you always wore a tie, a suit, professional, because you're going for the job that you want, right?
Right.
And you want to show that the respect and show that, hey, I care about this job. And now you probably ask people to show up in pajamas and any other thing. And how's that look when you're trying to do like a top level professional? Because this is a professional job. To show up in that kind of attire, how are you going to perform when what's your uniform going to be looking like? Well, how are you going to uphold yourself when you deal with people? Even when he says people don't communicate as well, look at this younger generation. Everything is on the phones. They don't have an actual conversation like we do right here. Yeah. Kids will be in the same couch and they'll be laughing at each other because they're talking to each other on the phone. They're not even looking at each other.
Right.
And I'm like, how is this communication? So some of these kids don't know how, and I call them kids because even if they're in their young 20s, right? How do some of these kids get along through life? Because our biggest thing as being human beings is to communicate with others, right? And a lot of this newer generation don't have really good communication skills, right? They don't know how to, answer different questions, and it's not that they don't know what's being asked. They just don't know how to communicate effectively. So that probably becomes a problem, and that's why I wanted to bring that up.
Yep.
I think it's a generational thing.
It is a generational
I mean,
thing.
it's just
we're living in a really strange time right now too, because of, and I hate to bring it up, but COVID, that destroyed a lot
That
of
ruined our
a
whole
lot of
society.
younger generations' mindsets because they were locked up for 2 years without being locked up, right? But I've noticed too with like talking to the younger generation, and it's funny saying that because I'm only 32. But I don't associate with that group of crowd because I can have conversations. I can look people in the eye.
He can do those type of
Yeah,
things.
I can do it. Yeah, don't judge.
I'm not like this. You know what I'm saying?
No, but talking to the younger generation, they like won't look you in the eye, and it's like, what do you do? But it's because they're so focused on doing this all the time that they don't know how to look up and just have a conversation with you.
or shake a hand, or even know how to tie
anything.
a tie.
But
I mean, it's a whole different.
Right.
But like he said, everything is a test with us. The first day that you come do a physical test and the written test, we're looking at you to see how you're showing up. Are you coming in the correct attire? Are your pants falling down? Are your shorts falling down? How early did you show up? Did you show up late? when you're on a break doing your physical test, what are you doing? Are you just like lollygagging, or are you asking questions? So we're consistently evaluating how you are in society and also your character, right? So yeah, absolutely. You are being, I don't want to say judged, but you are being evaluated the second that you step foot into our building. And that makes its way all the way up, because we're in constant communications with these guys. Hey, this guy showed up, we're not so sure about him. Like there's something questionable about it.
Every time that I've ever thought about things in my life, I don't know how I got it, but I always went on Vince Lombardi time, which is that you show up 15 minutes before.
Right.
Right? And so this way you can get a drink, you can go to the bathroom, you can do whatever you want, relax, you know what I mean? I was going to say comb your hair, but, but you know, you can do whatever you want, right? But then when the person says, I'm ready for you, it's not exactly at the deadline time.
Right.
Well, if you show up at the time, we were always taught, if you show up at that time they ask, you're already late.
You're already late.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
Because
what I'm
I was
saying.
always taught to be there a half an hour early.
Yeah.
And if you have to stay late, that's just part of the job. And that's what you know what I mean?
Yep.
So I come from a different generation though, you know what I mean? But it's, when I first moved to Nevada, I was very shocked coming from the Midwest, because my uniforms always had to be dry clean and everything. And people worked at dry cleaners, they'd show up right at the hour or after, and I'm like, how do you run a business like this?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't used to that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the Midwest, it was different. Everybody was getting ready. The store was open. You know, they'd probably even be open 10 minutes early before that, you
Yeah.
know, just to get things going.
Yeah.
And when I came to the West Coast here, it was like a shock to me.
Shell
Yeah,
shock.
You know what I mean? I'm like, wow, how do you operate businesses out here? I should say that because I live out here now.
No,
but-
it's the truth.
No,
but
yeah,
it's true. I
different,
mean,
yeah.
it's totally different mindset, and that's we're trying to improve people. I don't want to say, you know, change people as much, but try to improve them so they can be successful in our job field.
Right.
And that's what I say.
That's the whole thing.
A lot
you
of
know,
people ask,
so.
"What are you looking for?" I say it all the time. I'm looking for somebody that wants to make a change not only in the community but in in themselves, because this career will change you. You are not going to be the same person that you were when you first applied. You are going to be a completely different person, and for the better. So,
Right.
Yeah, 100%.
yeah.
So we're proud of all of you. You know what I mean? How am I doing so far?
You're doing great.
All right, good, good,
great.
good, good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got something to throw at you right now. You ready?
We're gonna leave here, and he goes, he's lying the entire time.
Right, yeah. Why didn't I hook that guy up in a polygraph? You know what I'm saying?
That guy just lying the whole
check
time.
that guy out,
Let
man.
me show you this, okay? I got one for you. You know who this is?
I do not.
Right. So this is Trooper Hagstrom's best friend growing up. He had 5 friends. 4 of them went into the police officer thing. Anyway, I always show this because he gave me his little coin.
Okay.
Do you have a polygraph coin?
I do not.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We should get this.
You're
I
gonna
know.
have to
I've
make
been
one.
working on it. but-
Okay, all right. Well, we're going to get you one.
Maybe one with the skeleton hooked up.
Yeah, there you go.
You guys have
So
patches?
he did the ramming
Okay.
For the
and
SWAT
so
team.
for the SWAT, and so that's his book.
Oh.
And so anyway, Trooper Hagstrom brought him on. And so, part of the Trooper Talk is very cool, is that I love to meet people's families. Trooper Hagstrom brought his wife. He brought his wife on twice. Then he brought his wife and kids to the store to say hello. You know what I mean? Like, it's very, very important. Nevada State Police is a family. And so that leads me to this, which is our new thing now.
New logo. Yep.
What people have to know is that the state police is encompassing all these different things. And so when you work for the state police, there's a lot of different things. So tell us all the different divisions of the Nevada State Police that you always talk about. Then you can tell us all the ways that they can apply.
Okay.
And then you can tell us how serious it is when they come in to see you, that you want to laugh, you want to joke, you want to have a good time, but at the end of the day, you're there to do a serious thing.
Right.
And if you're coming in and you want to treat this like a joke, then please do me a favor, just don't waste my time. Because time is very valuable. And there could be somebody else that maybe can't get an interview because you gave someone that's a jokester. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And under Nevada State Police, this has just been over the last year and a half or whatever. It's really an umbrella of all different agencies. So, and they're all state agencies. So our 2 biggest is Nevada Highway Patrol and Parole and Probation. That's our 2 bigs. And Nevada Highway Patrol is kind of like the backbone of all of it. because the majority, like law enforcement, everything gets filtered out from there. But we also have Capitol Police, the state fire marshals, the governor's dignitary protection, and did I leave anybody else out? Division of Investigations. We have Division of Investigations. So we have all these under the Nevada State Police. So each one is a separate division. And then a lot of times when we bring people in, even though we've covered all the divisions within the agency, we have specialty jobs. Like for Highway Patrol, we have K-9, we have the MATE team, we have the commercial, and we were able to bring some of these specialty jobs in. Even with the state fire marshal, we brought one of their K-9s in.
Right.
So I mean, there's all different little things that come about with a lot of these agencies. And even with parole and probation, Louis could also tell you they have different groups. A group for sex offenders, they
Gang
have,
unit, house
gang
arrests,
units,
yeah.
all that stuff. So within those, even though we're under that big umbrella, just remember that we have all these different departments, which are divisions of it, and then we have specialty jobs underneath that too. So
When the director was here, he specifically said the story of how someone needed his help because they were being threatened. And he said that he was going to have someone come from one of the divisions, and the person said, well, what is this? Because they didn't understand. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They weren't being disrespectful to him, right? They just didn't understand what this division of what was.
Right.
So he said that he fought to have that into the bill and signed by the governor, and Governor Lombardo signed that into law that it is now Nevada State Police.
Right.
And so, when you apply, when you start working, when you start doing all these things, you are going to work for Nevada State Police. You are going to be able to work. You're going to be able to, if you retire, you get a tremendous, pension and all, you know what I mean? And
Right.
it's pension from the state.
Yeah.
You get the pension too, right? Because you're right.
Yes.
So, and you're not sworn.
Not sworn in this position.
Right. So you know what I mean? Like there's tremendous positions and things like that have the benefits, right?
Right.
You like how I threw that one in there,
I
right?
like that.
Right. See, my mind is working very fast. there.
Right? Yeah, I see it.
I'm not lying though, I promise. So what I want people to know is this, okay? So now the person has passed everything.
Right.
Okay, so they now are going into the academy. Okay. If the person is not in law enforcement ever, and then I want to talk about the lateral moves and all that type of stuff.
Sure.
But if the person's not ever in law enforcement, right? So the person has to go through the academy. It's the standard academy that they have to go through.
The basic academy. Yep.
Then they have to go to parole and probation or Nevada Highway Patrol.
Yep.
And then after that, right, after Sergeant Whitmar says that they're able to proceed,
Yep.
right, they go to the field training,
Mm-hmm.
and they're doing it on their own.
Yep.
Does that make sense for either one of those two departments, right? Then they can apply to some of these specialty divisions.
Right.
But the best part about it is that Nevada State Police has all these divisions, has openings, if not in all, in some, and people are always retiring and leaving and moving, and that's one of the best benefits is that you don't lose your pensions or anything because you're still under that same umbrella.
Right, and it's Nevada State Police for a reason, right? The director talked about having like an identity crisis where we didn't know to call us ourselves Department of Public Safety, Highway Patrol, or Parole and Probation, or whatever the case might be. Now we can just say, I'm trooper for Nevada State Police, I'm officer for Nevada State Police, like Donovan said here, I'm a polygraph examiner for Nevada State Police. We can just use that as a title now, right? And everybody knows it's the state police for Nevada. But yeah, absolutely. It's such a blessing to work for this department because let's say you're down here for right now and there's a specialty position that opens up in Carson. You can put in for that position, and if you're chosen, the state will help move you up to Carson, and now you're working in Carson. You get a completely different change of scenery, a different whole office that you're working with now because you're completely relocating, right? But yeah, our department is small enough to where there's constant changes and there's constant moves. People are retiring, people are promoting, or people are moving to different positions. So there's opportunity for growth an improvement in your career. There's no reason for you to be stagnant. There's no reason for you to get bored of what you're doing day to day. Like I said, I did parole and probation for 4.5 years. Not that I got bored of it, but I just wanted something different, and I transferred over to highway patrol. So it's really incredible that we're able to do that kind of bounce back and forth and have different jobs and functions of Nevada State Police.
And when you hang out with the troopers or the major or any of that type of stuff, do they not treat you like your family?
Yeah, I mean, very welcoming. I'm really kind of the outsider because I just started a while ago, from a different agency. So, and I felt welcome the whole time.
When people come in and they want to hang out
Mm-hmm.
and they want to talk with you, not in the polygraph state, right? Do you analyze them like you're in the or are you like when you're off work you're done?
Trust me, when I am not doing the job, I am done. I have learned through my years to be able to separate now.
And what do you do for a hobby or something? Do you do anything like that?
I do a lot of running and a lot of hiking.
Oh, so it's nice weather out right now.
Beautiful weather out right now, yeah.
And so do you go on the trails and all that stuff, like on Mount Charleston and everything?
Any chance I get, yep.
Really?
Yep.
You could say hi to Sergeant Clifton.
Okay.
He has his little
Yeah,
ranch.
he lives out in Pahrump.
Right. Johnny went to his house, but we can't get Johnny on camera because he edits everything.
We're trying to
So
get Johnny's
we're
picture
trying,
up here.
We're trying for 4.5 years.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Johnny.
But one day, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
One day we'll
He
get
just
him on
cuts
here.
himself out.
I know. So, all right. So the traffic task force is fantastic because they just had the thing at the
Las Vegas.
the Las Vegas sign for the joining forces because people can't take it anymore, right? But the problem is that as much as people can't take it, okay? Like, I was thinking about this when maybe like the other day or, when maybe it was yesterday because I was home for a little bit. And I saw that thing, about the metro where this person was at 130 miles an hour, right? So I talked to Kevin, Sheriff McMahill, a couple days ago because I asked that he could come in here and have a conversation, and we could get him on camera and you know what I mean and all that type of stuff, because that's one of his big initiatives is this DUI, right? Chief Reggie Rader, we're going to have come in with Jim Dunlop, who's the captain, because they can't take it. You know what I mean? And so I'm sitting there, and I'm trying to think of, who can I call to get this message out? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I sent the text to Governor Lombardo, right? Like, I don't know who it is, like, what it is that I can do, right? Like, to stop these people from doing these type of act. I mean, it's like, it's too much. I mean, like, let's put aside for a moment that a person doesn't go to jail, that they have DUI, they kill someone, and then they can drive the next day, right? That there's no laws, let's just say, right? Like, these people just don't care. You know what I mean? And we live in a place where there is laws. And so we're thankful, and that was one of the things for that it said in the news thing, was that how they changed the DUI law, so now it's like 20 years instead of 15.
Yeah.
So this person, they're going to try to do that. You know what I mean? I reached out to Steve Wolfson. You know what I mean? He wants to come on the show and talk.
Oh, good.
You know what I mean? Because, like, I just don't know what it is that I can do, because people are dying every single day. And it's not like, well, somebody broke their arm and, like they put them in a cast and then they're, in 6 weeks or whatever it is, they're fine. No, these people are dying, right? So they're dying and they're not coming back to life. They're not eating Thanksgiving dinner. They're not eating Christmas dinner. The mother who just lost the son. You know what I mean? Like, how do you have Christmas and bring home and tell your other kids, oh, I'm so thankful that you're here, and by the way, your brother's dead. Yeah. And so the only thing that I can think of, and this is sort of where I came to in my mind, right, is that we need to be talking frank not Jim, Frank, right? To people. Like, you are going to die, right? Like, you could be dead, right? And so, like, maybe if we talk to these people, because, like, this is just, it's just absurd. And so there's so many wonderful things that Nevada State Police does with their time, of donating their time for the Coffee with the Cop and all these type of wonderful things that, okay, sometimes there's bad things that you have to do, but it's the law. But these people that are doing these type of reckless activities need to be stopped. And so if there's one hope, that during this holiday season, that maybe somebody watches this show and says, I don't want to die. Like, I don't want to kill someone.
Yeah, and I think on this show we've been very frank on a lot of things concerning motorcycles. We tell people, on the 215, how many times that we have to stop people just coming to work or going to and from places doing over 100 miles an hour, reckless driving. And this is one of the things that I think is going to be a great thing for the Valley, was the Southern Nevada Traffic Task Force. And you can see some things moving about. Our agency alone, I can't talk about it too much, but we have some other things that are coming about, especially after this road rage. 11-year-old boy dies because somebody wants to shoot. And how many times do we have road rages where people are pulling firearms, which you can't do? And we've talked about it on the show numerous times, right? And it just seems like it's spinning out of control. It's just getting out there. And every agency in the Valley understands it. They understand what the public are telling us. We're out there. We're trying to do it. So the best way was to join forces with everybody. I don't know if this will be on a permanent basis. This is going to be a lengthy basis right now for the task force, and it might become permanent for now on, with all these agencies getting together and getting these aggressive drivers off our roadways. I wanted to put this up because Sergeant Bracek, we were just talking about him. This is one of his guys from the squad. He's up on I-11 on Rainbow, and he's got the LiDAR, where they're calling in, and his crew got 77 traffic citations during that swing shift. You know what I mean? Just getting high speed off, and if he's telling you it's high, higher speeds, I know that they're probably on the I-11 doing probably 90 plus, and those are 77 speeders. They're probably doing 90 plus. They got citations from that. But we need to get back there. Ever since this kicked off this last Monday, right? And I'm already starting to notice people. The roads are getting a little bit slower. It's getting a little more congested, which is great, because we don't have people taking the risks that they do. And we've talked about it. We've always talked about plan ahead. Leave early. Then you can think about how your work and how your day is going to go. And now you're not putting others' lives in danger, and to be mindful to others out there on the road. You could be having mom taking kids to school. You know what I mean? Whether you're grocery shopping or whatever, slow down, obey the traffic laws. Give yourself some distance when you're driving around town. There's no reason to be driving reckless and crazy, and then you want to throw impairment in there and on top of it, because how many times have we showed pictures of people that are 3 or 4 times over the legal limit, and they're doing 120 miles an hour down the road. And it takes great joy for us to pull them off the road, because you know what? That's a life saved for sure, whether it's them or somebody else that they take their lives selflessly because their reckless behavior out there on the roadways. So I find this a great thing, with all the agencies getting together.
Love it.
And bringing their squads together so we can tackle different areas. Now, when this started on Monday, they're going to start hitting all the major areas where we have a lot of traffic crashes and speeding complaints, major speeds. So they're going to start tackling those areas of concern first, and then they're going to go to certain jurisdictions, whether it's Henderson, North Las Vegas, or whatever, and they're going to start taking some of the problem areas that they have in those areas. So I think that's going to be a good thing for the Valley, and I look forward to working with them on this new traffic task force.
Yeah, they did. The Clark County School District, they got $10,000 grant. You know what I mean? So the federal government is, you know what I mean? They're trying. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, does a person ever show up late?
I've had people show up late. Yes.
And then do you just tell them that that's it? That's the end of it?
It depends upon how late they are. If they're a couple minutes late, it gets put in my report that they showed up late, so that the hiring authority can actually see that and then make a determination if they're going to continue on. Obviously, the way that we schedule our polygraphs, if they show up too late, I won't have time to do it. So then I'll let them know.
Oh, because you have to have the pre-interview.
You have to have the pre-interview, yeah. So they take at minimum an hour and a half. Normally they're about 2 hours. Sometimes they go a little bit longer. So.
And is a person allowed to drink? Not like alcohol, but
No, they're
they
allowed,
can have like water.
Yep,
or
they're
something?
allowed to bring water with them. They can drink water through the whole process. So.
And once they're in, they're in. They're not allowed to take a break.
Nope. Once they're in, we have a break built in because again, we want to give them every advantage.
So they do
possible.
the pre-interview and then they take a break.
They do a pre-interview, and once we're done with the pre-interview, we give them a chance to use the restroom, kind of relax a little bit, and they're also told in the actual. I always call them the 4 rules. One of the 4 rules is if you need to take a break at any time, you let me know, and I'll make it happen.
Oh.
So we give them, they have every advantage under the sun to actually pass the polygraph exam.
I think people see polygraphs as like you are strapped to
Right.
this
Yeah,
chair
no, that's what I'm
with
saying.
wires
Like,
coming
right,
out.
this is
It's
what
a
I'm
yes or
thinking.
no.
Right.
Like, no, that's not how it is. They try to
Right.
make them as comfortable as possible.
And I've had it too where I've been in the middle of that polygraph where they have the components on them. I've placed the components on them. All the wires are coming off and everything. Got through a reading of some questions, and then all of a sudden the person is like, hey, I really need to use the restroom. Well, I take all the components off and let them get to the restroom because I'm not going to get a good result if they're sitting there and they're thinking about they got to use the restroom and not focusing on the questions.
Is it better? Now this is a good one. I was just thinking about. You ready? Do you use a lot of true, false, or yes, no?
Our questions, when you are doing the polygraph, when we are actually testing, they are only yes, no questions. That is it.
No, never true, false.
Never true, false. You either have to give a yes or no response. And what a lot of people don't understand is nothing's a surprise. We go over every question with them. They know what the question is. I know what their response is going to be before we ever turn the polygraph on to start looking at the charts. So again, no surprises.
And so the person's like this, and then you go, blah blah blah, and you ask the question, and as soon as they go, yes. So
They won't even go, It'll just be a yes or a no.
So are they? What if they say something other than that? Then do you say, I told you not to say yes or no?
I will give them an instruction, and I have to make notes that this is where I gave them an instruction, and then we move on with the test. If it's too big of an instruction, I'll actually just stop that test at that point.
Stop the test.
Stop the test. Just stop the
Really?
chart from recording.
Yeah.
Talk to them. Get them back into the frame of mind.
Yeah.
Redo the questions with them, and then start over again.
And you're recording this the whole time, like
Yep.
not like you're writing down. Stopped at 6:15. Started at 6:19.
The machine does all that for me. So the polygraph, the software does all that. However, every polygraph is actually video and audio recorded. So the whole process, the pretest, as soon as they walk in the room, it's already being recorded. It's kind of neat the way the software's set up. When I get into actually reading the questions and looking at the chart, the video and the charts match up exactly, so that you can see on the chart exactly when they give a response, so that someone who knows what they're looking for scoring, they can actually see what's going on.
And do you look at the person? Like, where do you sit in
Yes.
comparison? Where do you, like if I was doing the test right here, where would you be sitting?
So I'd be sitting off to the side, so you
Like
can't
right over
see me.
here?
Right. And when I
And are you looking this way?
am looking at your side, and I am actually looking at you when I'm asking the question.
And I'm straight ahead.
You're straight ahead. You're focused on. I have a point on my wall that they focus on. I do give them the option that they can close their eyes.
Close their eyes.
I tell them though, if you start falling asleep, I'll see it. I'll see it on the machine.
Falling
the readings.
asleep.
And I've had
Come
someone
on.
fall asleep. Yeah.
Okay, I want to know about
yeah.
this. Go ahead,
Sleep
keep
apnea.
going.
No, because they come from night shift
Oh,
in.
oh.
So
Okay.
those are always concerns. But
So I'm sitting like this, and then all of a sudden I'm just like out.
right, and I can see, because obviously your
body starts
respiration slows down, your heart rate slows down.
Oh, because you're monitoring this.
monitoring all
Okay,
that. And you can
okay.
just see it all of a sudden happen. You're like, oh, you need to wake up, and
Right.
everything goes flying back up. And
Take
just
my
come back
C4.
down.
Right. Yeah.
I don't want the
should've had
energy
one of
drinks.
those before you came in.
I don't want the energy drinks in them either. But yeah, I mean, so we sit off to the side because during the polygraph they have to sit still during the exam.
Yeah.
They have to sit still.
They have to sit still. There is a motion sensor in the seat, but I watch their hands, I watch their feet, I watch everything about them.
Motion sensor
Yep.
in the seat.
I watch to see other things, if they're taking a deep breath, if
So
they're
you've set it off so
swallowing.
many times, Neil.
Right. I mean,
Right.
like, Johnny, do you have one of those over here? The motion sensor in the seat.
See, so he is lying, huh?
Right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so, okay. So now, what I want to know is, so I'm like this, and you're like this.
Yep, off to the side.
Looking at my profile, right? Which totally would freak a person out, right? In a sense, because it's like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so do people, like, they can't look at, like,
No, I let them know that I'll be watching them.
but do people look at you like this?
I won't. I just tell them they have to focus straight ahead.
Oh, so they have to point.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
is so
I'm very
interesting.
specific that I point to the spot on the wall. This is where you're going to focus on during the test. I'll let them know, hey, I'll be watching you. Plus, the way I have my camera positioned, it's positioned in front of them, so then I can look at them. I can look at the camera, so I get varying views of them during the exam.
And your area that you have over here,
Mm-hmm.
let me think how I can ask this, and you don't have to answer, but I'll ask. Like, you have like all these computers and things and monitors, and you're just watching, or
It's just a laptop with monitors. It's nothing. It's a normal office setup. There's nothing different. The only thing that's really different in my offices is when we do the polygraph, they sit in a very specific chair.
right? Okay,
It's a different chair than what they're normally used to sitting in.
right. And is this flat so they
Yeah, the arms are flat and padded so that they can have their arms out because obviously they have a blood pressure cuff on, and then they have some sensors on their right hand that they have to hang over the end of the armrest. So yeah, it's a more natural seating position for the exam. It gets them in a better position.
So like when I go to the Quest and they have that one where you sit like that's like a padded thing.
Yeah.
Right where you would
It's almost like those armrests.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm sitting there, and I'm totally. So we've had the pre-interview. I understand the questions that you asked me.
Right.
I understand the questions that you told me you're going to tell me.
Right.
But now I'm questioning whether you're lying to me. Like, okay, maybe he's not telling me all the facts, right? So now I'm sitting here. And I'm totally not strapped, but I'm like here, right? And I have these things always on the right hand, not the left.
So for me, every polygraph examiner is different. I always put the blood pressure cuff on the left arm, and then what they're called EDA, they measure the amount of sweat building up in your sweat glands. That goes on the right fingers, and that's over on the right hand side. Yeah,
Sweat glands. Okay. And so that's on 3 fingers.
2 fingers.
2 fingers. Okay. And so now I'm sitting here. This is my free arm. I have the blood pressure thing. I have this. I'm like this. These are dangling here. Like now I'm starting to really freak out, right?
Okay.
And so now I'm sitting here, and now there's a dot right up, like almost like right above your head, probably, right?
Right.
And I'm sitting there like this, and I'm staring at this dot for approximately 30 minutes.
No, you're not saying so we do individual tests. So we have a group of questions for specific areas. Every time that we go over those group, the test is going to last anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes that the machine is actually recording responses and that we're going over it. So we'll do a test, they get the break. They get to move their arm because the blood pressure cuff has been inflated, so they're moving their arm, and we're going over the next set of questions.
Okay. So now I'm like this. Are my feet straight like this?
Your feet are flat on the floor.
They have to be.
They have to be flat on the
Okay.
floor.
So now I can't even cross my legs.
Can't cross your legs.
Okay.
No.
So now I'm like this. I have the blood pressure thing on my arm
Yep.
full. I have the 2 fingers or whatever, and we're
Yep.
not asking you which ones. It's okay. And so I have my 2 fingers that I'm sitting here like this,
Right.
dangling,
Right.
looking at this dot for
Right.
2 to 5 minutes.
Right. And we haven't talked about the pneumos yet. The pneumo are 2 tubes that go one high up on your chest and one down by your abdomen.
One here.
For your
Yep.
breathing.
Okay. And
Yep.
so that's on the outside of my shirt or the
Outside
inside?
of your shirt, yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
Okay. So I have a tube here.
Yep.
A tube here.
Yep.
Sitting in this chair that's
Yes.
probably not comfortable.
It's not very comfortable.
Right.
No.
and I'm sitting here like this, right? Like almost to the point that like you're in the electric chair, right? Like you know what I mean? Like the only
I
thing
won't
is-
equate it to the
like, you
electric
don't have
chair,
this thing on the
but
top of your head, right?
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Okay, so we understand.
I will never
each-
say it's like the
right,
electric
but
chair.
we understand each other, right?
We do.
All right, so
boy.
now I'm sitting here and I'm staring at this green thing, and now I can't look at you, but I have a set of eyes like at a hawk looking at me, right? And even if I went like there's so many things that I'm hooked up to that you know because the camera's watching me, and you're like, okay, this guy took 4 breaths in 42 seconds.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
And so now you start asking me questions, right? And so I'm sitting there and you go, okay, tell me about your hair color. And I look and I go, well, my hair color is slightly brown and it has, 3 little pieces and I didn't comb it this morning and I'm sorry. Right? And then after like this, right, then it's like, right?
Right.
And then I could move my arm, right, because I still have this thing inflated.
Yeah, no. Between each test, we take the air out of it, so you
Oh,
can
so
start
you
moving your
you-
arm and
okay,
get the
so now you
circulation going
uninflate.
again. Yep.
And I'm like,
Yep.
right? And then you're like, okay, let's do that another time. So you inflate, you put me back in my chair. I'm only allowed to go like this in the
Yeah,
chair.
you're just allowed to move your arm because otherwise I'd have to take all the components off because there's all the wires and everything. So they sit in the chair, but they can move their arms around. They can grab a drink of water.
So
quick.
I can go like this. I can grab a drink of water. Now I grabbed a drink of water. And so now I'm back into my position. You filled me up with air. I have my fingers dangling,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
I'm staring at my thing, and you're like, okay, for question 2, I want to know blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And so now I'm sitting there, and again, for the person who was lying, it probably feels like 1,000 years, right?
Right.
For the person, so here's my question for you, now that I've sort of designated all these things. For the person that is really excited to work for Nevada State Police, okay? Like they're really gung-ho. They've listened to him. They've talked to troopers. They feel really comfortable. This is where the direction that they want to go in their life. You know what I mean? Like they're ready, okay? Which you know when they walk in.
Right.
Right? And I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm just saying, right? Okay. So that doesn't feel like 1,000 years.
Right.
That feels like, look, this is just one step in the process to get me on the road, right? So do you, when people are here, when people are here, right? And after 1 or 2 questions, probably people maybe loosen up a little bit and,
Right.
and things of this nature.
Right.
But like the person who is doing that, like you could tell because they're like, you ask them a question and they're boom right on it. They just know the answer because it's just the truth. It's not like the person who might or might not be not only telling a lie, but might not be telling the whole story, right? Because in their mind, right? Because you're asking them a question, it's yes or no,
Right.
right?
Right.
And so that one question leads into 4 questions in that segment.
No.
One question.
The questions are all pre-scripted. I mean, I can't go outside of what we have. There's a binder I have. All the test 1 is these questions. Test 2 is these questions. Test 3. I cannot deviate from that. So and they always, before each test, we will go over each question. I will read them
Before they start.
before they start. Before each test. So if I'm doing test 1, I will go over every question in test 1 verbatim, and I will read them the question. I'll explain the question. And then say, all right, now what is your response to that question? So they practice before they ever have the polygraph machine running.
And this is where some of them come clean
Right.
with like drug usage.
Yes.
Big one. They'll
Yep.
tell you, oh, I've been using psychedelic drugs or different stuff
Yep.
that I forgot. Well, they didn't forget.
Right.
They omitted.
But they did, they didn't admit it in their first packet before it
first
went
screen,
to them.
the
Right,
pre-screen.
Absolutely.
Well,
yeah.
so
no,
the-
but before it even went to
So we have a questionnaire they
polygraph.
fill out with all those
Yeah.
types of questions. Then during the pre-test interview, I go over that packet with them. And then I have it now when we go over those questions. If I'm focusing on drugs, I actually have what's called a mind map. So it's a list of drugs on a piece of paper in a whole circle, and I ask them each one. And at that point, someone will stop me and say, oh, you know what? I forgot to tell you this. So that now this is like the third time asking them about drugs.
And now
But
they're
now,
just getting it. See?
now they have all the components on them. Now they're like, oh boy, this is real.
Oh crap! Yeah.
So it's like you had how many times, to
To
admit
tell,
that.
and you didn't
Right.
do it.
Right.
And that's like, you're not going to be working.
It's
Right.
almost to where, and I don't want to say this. The questions are simple, but it's like if you're lying about it, you have to come up with a fabrication, right? You have to come up with a lie. It's
And
the
then
same
it only
thing-
gets worse from there.
It's the same thing for us out on the road. Hey, are there any drugs in this car? I don't think so. What do you mean you don't think so? I know there's no drugs in my car.
Right, like I know that.
Right off the bat, right? Have you ever done drugs in your life? No, never in my life.
Right.
Yeah, I smoked marijuana once, right? Somebody knows that. Maybe 10, maybe 5 to I don't know. Like that starts it's a fabrication. You're trying to hide the actual truth of itself.
Right.
So these questions, that's why he's saying yes or no. That way they can't. Oh well, actually it was 2 times maybe. I didn't like. They can't do that.
Right.
And so, this is fantastic. I know we're getting over, but okay, we have to get the Sean safety tips, but this is very fascinating. So the person is in there, and just like he's saying, right?
Yeah.
So now they're, they're very direct questions that you already asked them that they already talked about, right?
Right.
So now they're in the middle of this interview and they come clean. And they go, did you try this? And they go, oh, I forgot to tell you, last Tuesday I was hanging out with my friends, you know what I mean? Or you stop and you go back to the drawing board, or you continue with the test?
I continue. I'll go ahead when I go over those questions.
There's
and
that
I'm
the post
explaining
thing.
it. When I explain the question to them, like a drug question, I'll explain it to them. I'll go around the list and they're like, oh, I forgot to tell you about this. I'll make my notes on the side, which are going to go in my report. But I'll continue on with testing it. Because I'm just looking for them, when we're testing them, I'm making sure that they didn't leave anything out. So at that point, even before I ask the question, if they make that admission, I'm still good with it at that point for me, all right, for my process. I'm just seeing, all right, what we're looking for in the polygraph, are they trying to hide something?
Yeah.
Right.
So that's what our results are. Are they hiding something or not? So if they're still admitting before we ask the question, they're not hiding it, right? They're just taking a while to come around to the truth. And then it's not on me anymore. If they do that and then they pass the polygraph, my report goes up to our hiring authority, and then they make the determination, reading my report, if they're going to move on to the next step or not.
And it could be that, and I'm not putting anyone any words in any mouth, but the admission is at least the person admitted it on camera, on the thing, the spiel, versus no admission at all, trying to totally hide it.
Right.
I still want to get over that. I still don't understand how somebody can come into that room and lie to you on every question. So the person is sitting.
They have so many chances
I know,
prior to
but
this
just
before getting to him.
Take me through
Yeah.
this. So the guy is a person, not man. Okay, man, woman doesn't. They've done this. They've come into this room. They're hooked up to this thing, and you're asking them questions, and it's like, "Were you here yesterday?" Yes. Well, I know the answer is no. Yeah, it's just unfathomable. And so I'll leave this segment with this. Tell us where we can find good people that are going to pass the polygraph test, who aren't going to fall asleep.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, but let me say that people work tremendous hours. And one of the things, and then I'll get to this very quickly, one of the things that from Corporal McClarty, when he was here, when he was doing the recruiting, right? A lot of people come from the hotels and these type of things here in Las Vegas. And so there are a lot of people that do work at night or have 2 jobs because they have families and all this. That one of the most wonderful things is that every time the Nevada State Police asks, they will do these type of things for a good person. You know what I mean? Just because somebody might fall asleep doesn't mean they're not getting the job.
Right.
It just means that maybe you shouldn't have driven here if you're falling asleep. You know what I'm saying? All right, go. Where do we get somebody that's going to pass the polygraph?
NevadaStatePolice.com, and like I said before, if you're hesitant on any other questions on anything that comes up in your background, please ask me. I will walk you through it. I obviously can't go over the parameters that they're looking for, right? I can't go over the questions with you prior to what they're going to be asking you. But like you said, nothing's hidden. We're not trying to hide. We're not trying to trick you. We're not trying to get you to lie to us. That's not our end goal. We're just trying to make sure that you're an honest cop, because this is a lot of responsibility. There's a lot of stuff that is out on the line. Like you said, people's lives are at risk.
Right.
Well, and I want to bring something up too.
Yeah.
And if you get caught lying as a trooper or an officer,
Yep.
you're listed as a Brady cop.
Yep.
And we can't really keep you on the job, because no court, once you get labeled as a Brady cop, that somebody has lied on the stand,
Yep.
everything that you say that comes out of your mouth for a court, every other court, and everything else can be construed as lying through any defense attorney or anybody else.
Yeah.
So you're no longer plausible of being a state trooper or an officer. And that's why it's so important to go through this process, because we don't want Brady cops. We don't want people lying. I mean, and thank God that we have cameras in our cars and cameras on ourselves to show, the good work that 99.5% of our
100%.
officers are honest and everything else, and it shows what's happening with the public. You know what I mean? So that's why we really put a lot of investment in this, because we don't want to later have problems with Brady cops or people lying on the stand.
Right.
We don't want that.
And I mean, kind of wrap this up for this portion is, when we go over these questions and when someone fails a polygraph exam, we do the post interview with them. And what I find out, what they're trying to hide, 95% of the time would not have gotten them disqualified out of the process.
Yep.
They were just embarrassed to talk about it.
Yeah.
So I always tell people right at the beginning, I get some of these are personal questions. I get you don't want to admit everything, but you got to admit everything, because we need someone who's telling the truth, even if it's difficult. And that's just my experience. Now, over the years, I found majority of the stuff that people try to hide from us in a background and in a polygraph is stuff that would never have gotten them disqualified. It's the fact that they were trying to hide it from us. They were lying to us. That's
And
what
that's
got them
the
disqualified.
disqualifying.
That's what it-
Automatic. Yep.
All right. Fantastic.
We had to bring this up. You know what? I'm going to have this slide again when we have
Maybe Sandy Haverly.
Sandy too.
Let-
I
let's-
wanted to bring it up. We talked a little bit last week, so we can just go to the next slide. But this is so important, because this is just recent. You know what I mean? We're going
We
into
love
2
them.
years after our officers have died from DUI, but we're going to get more into it on the next segment as it comes up. So.
Yeah. We love them. We appreciate them. They always used to come on the show. And yes.
All right, this weekend, Clark County School Police. Captain Mayer is a friend of mine, and Sergeant Juan Willabo with Clark County School Police. They really put the pressure on me, so I had to come out. You know what I mean? But it's such a great cause. It's called Fill the Bus. So we had 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. This last Saturday and Sunday, it was December 6th and 7th, and we set up in front of the Walmart. And what they do is they bring a big school bus out, right? And then on each entrance, we're out there with flyers telling them, hey, if you feel in your heart that you would like to buy a present, because it's going to needy kids, it goes to schools that these kids don't have the opportunities. Families don't have the money to buy presents and all this stuff. And what's going to be exciting is we're going to go back when we actually deliver this and see the kids' faces and everything when they get all these presents. Because you got to think, there's a lot of kids that don't have the privilege of what we have every day, and some of their best meals are probably going to school.
Yeah.
That's probably the best meal they get for the day, and it's kind of sad. So this is one of the greatest things that Clark County School Police did, and we had all the other agencies helping us out, us, Metro, and everybody else, and we filled that bus. I worked on Saturday. We filled the entire bus. We kept on going for maybe 2.5 hours after that, and we got so much that we had to fill another trailer. So, we're in tough times right now financially for a lot of people, and people are still giving. And it's so wonderful to see that, because now you're putting a smile on a kid's face, And not only that, you're making their Christmas because they're getting a toy. They get to pick out the toy and enjoy it for Christmas, and that's what it's about. You know, we're a community together, and that's why we give our time to go out and help throughout the valley to make our community better. And, you know, a lot of people, that's what's so great about your show is, you know, dehumanizing a badge. Some people don't understand. They just think we're like robots, right? Once we put these uniforms on, but our kids go to the same schools, we drive the same roads, we're human, we have feelings too, you know what I mean? We just don't want you doing bad stuff out there. We correct you. You know, nobody wanted to get corrected by their parents, right? You know, it probably stings to get a traffic citation or something, but you know what? Maybe we saved a life because if you kept on doing it, who knows what would have happened? You might have killed yourself, you know, in a crash or somebody else. So that's the reason that we have there. And we talked a little bit earlier, if we didn't have the police, Neil, it'd be total chaos. We're a nation of laws, and we abide by laws because we want everybody to live out their dreams and be able to go from one place to the next, not worrying about being a victim of crime or in a crash or anything like that. So this is very important. I don't want to get off the thing from the filibuster.
Here's what I was going to tell you.
But this is amazing program for needy kids.
Bob Mayer is
Yep.
fantastic.
Yeah, he's
and Juan is fantastic, and we were very thankful to help. They wanted to have my truck out there so that it would lead the parade, the Tonka.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
But I couldn't make it out there because it was Saturday.
Okay.
The Clark County School District Police works hand in hand with Nevada State Police on so many things. And when we see interagencies like this all working together, this is not something that happens in normal society. Normally, there's one agency who feels, you know, that they're better than the rest or whatever, and that's not what happens. And so from the major all the way down, which we always see him there, and I'm surprised not to see him in his Birkenstocks, you know what I'm saying?
We had to get a picture of Santa, you know what I mean? So that's
you know, the thing is that, you know, they care. And so, you know, it's something that the Nevada State Police has, sworn and unsworn. Now, what I would like to talk about is the fact of you're not a sworn officer.
Correct.
But you still come to work every day. You work around them every single day. If you have a question about something, you can certainly call and ask somebody, you know, like all these things are there for you just as much as they're there for the troopers.
Right. Well, and I'm a little bit different too because I retired out of law enforcement. I was a officer up in the state of Washington for quite a while.
I wonder if he knows our friend, our sergeant friend.
Legacy. Donaldson.
Donaldson. Do you know him?
Brenton Donaldson? Yeah, it might be a different department.
Okay,
so,
yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, he retired from up there in Washington.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, so go ahead. So you were a law enforcement officer. Okay, so, and then you left?
Yep, I retired at the end of 2023 after 29 years.
And then you moved down here?
I had a private business up there doing polygraphs.
Oh, up there?
Up in Washington. Yep. And the supervisor of the polygraph unit here, I used to work with him up in Washington. And
The one who's supervisor for Nevada State Police?
Yep. Yeah, and I came down for a conference beginning of this year, and he mentioned that there would be a spot opening up, and my wife has been talking about moving somewhere warmer, so I thought this would be a great opportunity to check it out.
And then
It's been a great opportunity. So.
And how long have you been working for Nevada State Police?
This is 7 months now.
7 months.
Yep.
And so talk to us about the first day. When you came there, do you have a special breakfast? Do you drive slower? Do you get excited? What is that? What is that like?
My first day,
It didn't make a difference.
yeah, I just came in and my boss met me out in the lot and walked me in the building. I mean, it was nothing special. I mean, it was different because I knew my boss from years back.
Okay, so you had someone that you knew.
Yep.
Okay, so he walks you in and he shows you your office?
Shows me in my office, kind of tells me, what's going to be going on over the next couple of weeks, and pretty much hit the ground running. So.
And then you're able to, and then you close the business up there, and then you just come down here.
The business was open for a while. I was still going up on weekends and doing it, but I've shut it down now.
So now you're here full time for Nevada State?
I'm here full time, and my wife comes down in the winters.
So you'll still keep a place up there? And
I
then
keep my
come in?
place up there, yeah.
Absolutely. You got it perfect. That's the way I wanted it.
Yeah.
But my wife will not move anywhere. So
Yeah.
And what days a week do you work?
I work Monday through Thursday.
Oh, so you go up there on the weekends,
I'll go up usually once a month. I'll go up
and then, but Monday to Thursday, 12-hour days,
10-hour days.
10-hour days, and then you're finished.
Then I'm finished.
Okay. What time do you get in the morning?
6 o'clock.
You like that rapid questions, right?
I do. I love them.
Right. See, I'm trying. You know what I
I
mean?
love it.
Maybe I could get a job with you or something.
Absolutely.
All right. So, to work for Nevada State Police, you have to have time in your day to do things like this. Because one of the things that Nevada State Police does is they do wonderful charitable things. And so it's not just pulling people over and doing these type of things. And so it's a wonderful organization. And the Nevada State Police, from the top all the way down, they care, and they care about the community, and they want people to do better, right?
Yeah, we're not looking, like I said, we're looking for people that want to make a change in the community. And that's not just by educating people, by doing traffic citations and traffic stops, but also our community policing. We have a lot of different events that we attend and different things that we're a part of, like Fill the Bus and Coffee with a Cop. And those troopers come out and they do it on their own time. Even if they're working during their regular shift, they ask if they can stop by just to say hi to the community that's out there. So we genuinely have the best of the best. We are the elite. We're looking for the best of Nevada. And we're just wanting people to come out and make a change in the community and just go and show that we're not robots.
Yeah, 100%. All right, let's see what we got on this one.
Okay, this was
He likes to show off his car. You see that?
I see
right,
that,
you
yeah.
just saw it.
well,
It's
it
like
kind
the
of goes
third
every
time.
Right,
kinda
yeah,
goes-
he knows that. You know what I'm saying?
It kinda goes
He
everywhere I
said that he noticed it right away. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
you don't see any pictures of me.
Right,
I just
yeah,
said this
yeah,
car.
yeah.
So.
It's just the
No,
car.
but
you know
this
what
is
I'm saying?
2025 Nevada Department of Transportation, our roads department, and they put a safety summit on for this whole month. And we ended up, the last 2 days, I went to 4 elementary schools. And we did like a touch a truck, you know, and we brought all the kindergartners up to 5th grade. I mean, a lot of kids. And we did a lot of talking. I got Sergeant Drone from commercial because we had Sergeant Drone on, and
Yes.
and he did say that he wants to come back, Neil, because we want to talk. He's big on human trafficking, and we want to
Yes.
discuss human trafficking
Yes,
later on. So he's a-
especially the beginning
right.
of the year.
absolutely.
Yeah,
So
for
that's
New
when
Year's,
we're going to get him in before he starts leaving, because he's probably going to retire here within the year. So.
The end of the year?
Yeah, probably that or close, maybe in the middle of the year. So, yeah.
right,
so
so
we
we'll have
want to get him in and
Yes.
talk human trafficking. But he assisted me, and we had fun demonstrating all the kids, all the different stuff, that the equipment that we use and what we do. And Clark County School Police brought a couple of their canines out. Peppermint was at one of the schools, and then this is King. And I had to get a picture of King because King was
He's
just
got that
hanging
the
out.
necklace like this.
Oh yeah, he's like hanging out in the car, just being a dog, what a dog does, right? So he was just waiting for the students to come out. So I thought that was kind of cute. So we wanted to put that in. And then Metro came out to 3 out of the 4 schools, and they all brought their new cyber trucks.
Yeah.
So all the kids could touch and go through the cyber trucks and all that. So it was a good event. It was a touch a truck event where we go to the elementary schools and show them who we are, and that they can always come to us if they have an emergency or something going on. They know what number to call, 911, and always buckle their seatbelts, and we go over everything with the kids. So it's a great place to get started with kids, and I love doing it. So I just wanted to put that in there, and that was for this year's NDOT Safety Summit.
So would you drive your car or the Cybertruck,
What's that?
if you could?
I drive my car.
Would you drive your car or the Cybertruck?
My car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a company car?
I do not. No.
Okay. Yeah. I was looking for your company car. That was one of the other thing I was seeing this morning. But would you drive your car or the Cybertruck?
My car.
I love it. So it's a consensus.
That question. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right. Yeah. Now, Neil, I had to put this in here. This was in Central Nevada. An owl flew across the road, got hit, and got stuck in a grill of a car. Right. So this trooper, I apologize. I don't know his name because they didn't have his name posted, and it was in Central Nevada. And I had to pull this off. I had to put this on Trooper Talk because it was so. It's incredible. The owl was fine. They were able to get it out. He had some gloves, like heavy-duty gloves to get it out. And they still had animal control check it out, but the owl was fine. and it's like he saved the owl. It got stuck in the grill, and they were able to take him out. So I wanted to show that because how many times do people get to see cool stuff like that?
Yeah.
I mean, an owl is amazing. You know what I mean? I've had, when I was working up north of Vegas, up by the Mesquite area, I've had a couple, but they ended up getting killed, golden eagles. And I've picked them up off the road and buried them, you know, off the side because they're such a majestic bird, you know what I mean? I had one laid out on my trunk and the wingspan went past my trunk, but unfortunately, you know, if they fly too low, the semi-trucks hit them. I've had 2 in my whole career. But amazing birds. But the owl, that's amazing.
Pretty
I,
sweet.
I had to show that picture.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say. It's just looking at you. Like,
Yeah.
holy smokes.
I know.
Yeah.
He's almost like bothered. Like, can you let me go now?
Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, leave me alone already. You know what I'm saying? Promise I won't get caught again.
Yeah, but the owl lived and he was fine. Everything was good. So back in the wild.
Back
Shout
in
out.
the wild.
Yep.
All right.
No Sean safety tips. I was
no?
trying to keep it shorter because I figured
Ah, yes. You know
we-
whose
we-
dog
a lot
that
of
is?
questions.
That's the director's dog.
Oh.
Yeah. We found that out last week when he told us he
With
passed
the
away.
director.
Yeah. You know whose car that is? It's unbelievable, right?
Do I even have to guess?
Right. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's a yes/no question.
I guess that's a hard yes. A hard yes. I'm sorry.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
No, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? No thinking about it. You must really enjoy what you do.
I do. I love
You
it.
know what I'm saying? Like,
love it.
I mean, like, we can laugh and we can joke and all this type of stuff. You know what I mean about being scared and you know what I mean. But like, you have to enjoy what it is that you do, right?
I do. Yeah.
And so, do you still get excited about coming to work every day and all that?
I do. I love coming to work because for me, I have that opportunity to. I'm not wearing a uniform anymore, but I can still be that person who's making sure that the right people are getting into those positions, so that those that are working the road can feel comfortable for the new ones that are coming on, and that's important to me. We always look at ourselves as the gatekeeper for the entire agency.
We need people so that we can get people to him, right? Like you said, he's step 3 or step 2. You know what I mean? But like, we need people to get to him,
Right.
but we need the right people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, I would have to assume that people know if they've been convicted of a crime. If they've done things in their life that would disqualify them from even getting an opportunity to have a conversation with him, right?
Right.
And we have lateral moves. You know, there's a lot of other things that people can do by coming here. You know what I mean? Former law enforcement, retired, came back. You know what I mean? Like, we're looking for these type of people, right?
Yeah, we're looking for anybody and everybody. But again, they have to meet our level of standards, right? We're not just taking somebody off the street that doesn't have any experience, but we're also not looking for experience. We will train you from the bottom up. You don't have to have any experience in law enforcement, security, anything in general. We will train you from the bottom up on how to go out and be an effective and safe trooper or officer. I can't reiterate it enough. Just contact me if you have any questions, if you're hesitant. A lot of people are scared because they have what they think is bad credit, and their credit's like 720. It's like, well, dude, that's good credit. Or they think that because they have an accounting collection that they're getting taken care of and they're paying it and it's getting handled and situated, that they're going to get disqualified. But that's not the case. We understand that times are tough right now. Financially, it's a tough time to live in. So we're not expecting you to have a perfect 800 credit score with $50,000 in savings. That's not what we're looking for at all. So just talk to me and I will walk you through whatever kind of questions or concerns that you have throughout the entire process, whether it be the physical test, the written test, the backgrounds and polygraph. That's the biggest thing that people are concerned with, and I try to give them as much comfort and relief that I can give them, but they're not going to get it if they don't call me or contact me and get those questions answered.
And there are things that someone has in their past that, not to say are not disqualifiers, like maybe somebody got in trouble when they were younger, but it's the, you know, they didn't rob a bank, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
But like they
yeah.
got in trouble, maybe they got a disorderly conduct when they were 18 or something because they were drinking, you know, who knows, right? There are things that are in people's past that don't have to be disqualifying, right?
Or any felony convictions, because obviously that's like a federal standard, right? You can't be a convicted felon to carry a firearm. That's just not going to happen. Domestic violence convictions, those are also violent offenses and tendencies, so those are automatic disqualifiers. Any drug charges that you might have been convicted of, you're also going to get disqualified, as well as any recent drug usage. That's going to get you disqualified. Besides marijuana, that's a year up to the date of application. But we also have our possible element rejections, which I share freely with whoever has any questions. And it's a list of stuff that could get you disqualified, but not will. So maybe you did get charged with disorderly conduct, but it was 15 years ago. That's not going to affect you a whole lot.
Can I bring one more thing
yeah.
up too on disqualifiers? If you have tattoos on your hands or your neck, we've talked to people before. They still want to be troopers,
Yeah.
but they're actually getting them removed.
Yeah.
You know, you can have full sleeve tattoos, but it can't be present. You can't have it on your hands or your necks. That's
So
going to be
it can't be exposed.
Yes.
Anything past your wrist bone down, except for a wedding style band tattoo on your ring finger on your left hand. Other than that, nothing can be visible here.
Yeah.
You can show your tattoos once you're into the department and whatnot. You can have short sleeves to show your sleeve tattoos, but it can't be past your wrist bone, and anything that's not covered by the collar here above is not acceptable.
Because you got to remember, you're representing the state.
Even the
that's
little
good.
tattoos behind the ears, those are going to get you disqualified. And a lot of people bring up, well, there's tattoo makeup. The view of the department is, let's say you're working out on a rainy day, that makeup is going to come off, and now that tattoo is visible. So it's not something that there's a workaround behind it. We just
But I mean, you
have
can
a
still
wedding ring.
you can
have
get
a wedding ring.
correct. Yes.
Yep.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yep. And you can as long as you get it lasered off. Let's say it's something small behind the ear, you get it lasered. That's not going to disqualify you.
No, not at all.
But what I want to say is, some people say, "Oh, can I go and I'll get it done?" No, it has to be prior, because once they get in and then they're like, "Oh, I don't want to do it," it's not going to work, because you're still not going to be working for us, and we wasted all that time and money. Because you got to think, to be a trooper trained, that's probably $500,000 worth of training
It's a lot
that
of-
you're getting.
yeah,
It's
it's
a
a
lot
lot
that
of
the
money.
state has to put up.
And not
I'm
even-
just throwing a number out there. I know
Right,
the
no,
exact
but
number,
but with all these different, that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Hour and a half here, 2
Right.
hours here, personal people behind the scenes.
Even before they get to polygraphs, right? You're paying for, well, you're not paying, but the state has to pay for troopers to come in on their day off to conduct the physical testing. The state has to pay for the actual physical test itself from the company that we use. So there's money that goes involved before you're even applied to the road. So we're asking that if you do have hand tattoos or neck tattoos or behind the ear tattoos, to have them removed before you even apply, because we're not going to take you if you're in the middle of 6 sessions and then session 5 you're like, no, I don't want to do it anymore. Now you have a faded hand tattoo and you're out on the road.
and I wanted to bring that up. Just
Yeah,
to,
no,
Yeah,
absolutely.
just to let
So-
people know ahead of time, so it doesn't waste
Yeah.
their time or our time.
Here's the thing: we have to be in the business
Right,
of not wasting the time.
right.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, if he can be polygraphing someone, there's no reason to not take someone in that wants to be there,
Right.
not the person who wants to lie about every question.
Right.
Yep, time is
Right.
money.
And I'll just say one more thing. Just like you said, if people were forthgiving,
Yeah.
most of that stuff in the post-interview, they wouldn't have failed.
Right.
Just be honest. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to find out anyway.
Yeah.
You know what that means?
Wrapping up.
That means you passed the polygraph test.
All right.
Here's what I'm going to say. It's wonderful that you take the time and come here. Okay, like I know you could be doing a lot of other things, but it means so much. I want people to not only see what it is that you're talking about, but that you're a real person, and that you're not playing around. Like you know what I mean? Like that there's a time for joking and all this type of stuff. But when you come into my office and you sit down in the chair, right? It reminds me of the right. But anyway, I won't say it again.
We'll have to get Neil in to see the chair,
Right?
right?
When you come into this chair and you sit down and you're hooked up like Frankenstein over there, it's very serious. Like you are going to be able to carry a firearm. You know what I mean? Besides all these other things, but you know what I mean? And so it's very, very important. So for you to take the time and come here, I just hope you know that he really appreciates it, and he really appreciates it. All the viewers appreciate it, and you know, it's cool because you got the laugh and joke, and that's what I want. You know what I mean? Like, I want people to see that, and then also see the serious side of, you know, when you were talking. You know what I'm saying? So thanks again. Okay.
Thank you.
Trooper Hagstrom,
Always a pleasure.
Almost 100 episodes. I'll have Johnny make a note of that.
Yeah.
For, 236, Johnny. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna have to get poppers or something.
Right, we have to. You know what I mean? But it's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it's cool that we keep bringing and having fun and all that type of stuff.
Well, and I like the engagement with the community and letting them know who we are and what we do. And we couldn't do it without you, Neil. And we really appreciate it.
Yeah.
All you do, Neil, you do more than enough for our agency and others throughout the valley. And even with you being on the IPOF, which is the Injured Police Officers Fund, and all the stuff that you do is amazing. Amazing work. You know what I mean? You got some angels behind you, so we love you.
We love doing this.
Yeah, that's
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what's fun to me. You know what I mean? All right, what are you gonna wrap up and tell us where to go?
We're going to go to NevadaStatePolice.com. Apply buttons up at the top. Again, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. I will answer anything that you have. No question is a stupid question. The only stupid question is the one that's not asked. So please ask away.
Yep. And next week we're gonna have Sandy Haverly stop DUI.
That's right.
She'll tell us about the stop DUI handcuffs that she gave me, and you know.
And then
what I mean,
we'll be
all that
going
stuff.
over impaired driving, and we're getting close to the holidays, so we just want people to know that, you know, if we're not saying don't celebrate and have fun with your friends, if you're out there drinking or using drugs, just don't get behind the wheel of the vehicle. That's all we ask. You know,
be responsible.
There's no be responsible, plan ahead. There's no excuses, like we always bring on there. You know, you got Ubers, taxis, Lyfts, everything available to you, so there's no reason to get behind that wheel of the car.
Yeah,
So.
I agree. So thanks again. All right, you ready? Last and final thing. Now we look at this one and say, "Shoo, we passed the polygraph." All right, then we make sure we wave. Okay,
All right.
see you
Bye,
later.
guys.